If you think Bleu de Chanel is basic, you haven't been paying attention. Hey Raiders, I'm Turk. Today we're looking at a fragrance that gets talked about more than it gets understood. Bleu de Chanel is one of those scents that people think they've already figured out. When you actually wear it and let it sit with you, you realize there's a lot more going on. The thing about Bleu is everybody knows it, but very few people actually see it. It's the fragrance equivalent of a classic film people constantly reference but haven't watched in years. You think you remember it until you revisit it, and then you realize how much you've missed. Bleu is familiar, but it's not simple. It's popular, but it's not shallow. It's everywhere, but it's not generic. And this is where the story really begins. The fragrance world right now is obsessed with extremes. Louder, sweeter, stronger, more niche, more beast mode. Everything is about impact. It's about being noticed first and remembered second. Bleu de Chanel enters that world with a different kind of energy. It doesn't try to punch through the noise. It doesn't try to shock you. It doesn't try to prove anything in the first 5 seconds. Its opening is clean and controlled. The grapefruit giving a sharp first impression, the mint cooling the edges, and pink pepper adding a spark that stays in its lane. It's a kind of opening that doesn't try to dominate the room. It just sets a tone. Crisp, modern, intentional. Picture walking into a crowded space where everybody's wearing something loud. Bleu doesn't compete with them. It cuts through the noise by not trying to be noise. And that's the first sign of what this fragrance really is. Confident without being dramatic. This is the kind of opening that rewards the person wearing it, not the people around it. It's not a performance. It's a presence. Bleu doesn't want to be the loudest scent in your collection. It wants to be the most reliable. It wants to be the fragrance you reach for when you don't want to think. The one that works in every season, every outfit, every setting. And that reliability isn't laziness. It's by design. In the mid, that intention becomes clear. Ginger warms the profile just enough. The Isui Super smoothing everything out into a soft skin-like aura. And the nutmeg adds a subtle pulse of character. This is where Bleu becomes less of a fragrance and more of a signature. It settles into you. It blends with your skin. It becomes something people associate with you, not with the fragrance. Nothing here is trying to steal the spotlight. It's all about balance. The kind of balance that makes a fragrance feel a part of you, not something sitting on top of you. And this is where Bleu is showing you its real purpose, to be timeless, not trendy. And that's why so many people underestimate it, because timelessness doesn't scream. But here's the problem. The fragrance community rewards volume, projection, uniqueness, instant compliments. The louder the scent, the more value people think it has. Bleu doesn't play that game. In the dry down, the truth becomes obvious. The cedar gives it structure. The amberwoods add warmth. And sandalwood smooths everything into a clean finish. And the incense adding a quiet depth that really never turns heavy. The notes don't fill a room. They stay close. They stay personal. And because of that, people assume Bleu is basic or safe. And what they're really reacting to is restraint, a design choice that goes against the current trend of loudness. Bleu isn't weak, it's intentional. And that intention most often gets misread. This is the part of the fragrance that rewards patience. It's the part that reveals itself slowly, like the way a well-written character does in a film. You don't get everything all at once. You get layers. When it's all said and done, trends burn out. Hype fades. The loud fragrances just get replaced by louder ones. But Bleu stays the same. And over time, people start noticing something. The balance is rare. The versatility is unmatched. And the restraint is actually elegance. You start to see Bleu differently when you wear it for weeks instead of days. It becomes a scent you trust. A scent that never feels wrong and never feels out of place. This is where Bleu stops being the safe choice and becomes the right choice. It's a fragrance you don't have to justify, because it just works. Bleu wasn't trying to be everything, it was trying to be consistent, and consistency is what survives. Bleu de Chanel has become the modern reference point the scent designers measure against. The one men return to after the hype fades, and the one that quietly outlasts the noise. Not because it shouted, but because it understood something simple. A masterpiece doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to last. Bleu ends up as the fragrance that proves subtlety isn't weakness, it's longevity. And that's why it's still here, still relevant, still respected. When it's all said and done, Bleu de Chanel isn't basic. It's balanced. Balance never goes out of style. If you want more fragrance reviews told with intention, subscribe to the next one. Raid smart. Smell better.